Warning, this is a public service announcement. I think prices are going to ramp up very soon. Stay tuned to find out exactly why I'm saying this. Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Property TV. So glad you could join me here today. This is a public service announcement because people have asked me to do it before. I'm saying this right now. I think prices in the GTA are going to go up soon. I suspect we're probably going to see a fairly substantial increase in price in the next 2 months. I would say probably a 3 to 6% increase on a month-to-month basis from August right now. Now, obviously, prices always go up in August, from August to September. I've said it before, but I think the jump this year is going to be more sizable than most. Now, if you don't understand that, you can click up here. I've talked about it before, where I explained the seasonality, but I'm going to give you some anecdotal evidence first and then give you some data to show you why I'm making this public service announcement, right? So normally in September, I see inventory increase after Labor Day and like a week after that, right? However, this year, while some came out, there really wasn't that much, and the inventory is at a very, very low right now amount, like relative to 10-year average, right? So it's higher than August, obviously, which is, that's the case, but I don't think it was high enough in September normally, mixed with the amount of demand we have, right? So now a lot of people were waiting until kind of the election was over before they did something about it. Not that I really think the election made a difference, but some people do. But I did see like another wave of listings come out last week, but really not that much this week. And this is why I'm making the video, right? Which has me worried because no listings while demand is high generally means prices go up. Right? So I have a podcast where I go through my thought process from economic reasons why prices are going to go up regardless because of inflation and, Mr. Trudeau and in a few years of him generally would mean that like prices go up. But that's different, and you can check that topic here, but that's different from the video I'm making right now regarding the demand and the supply side. And when you mix the two of them, it's kind of a recipe for a disaster, right? So if this is the type of real estate content you enjoy, make sure you help us spread the knowledge out there by smashing that like button and subscribing to the Property Tips channel, because every week I make videos like this that talk about real estate content, because all of this real talk is because we want to be transparent and honest to you so that when you're ready to make a real estate move, whether it's your first time to buy a home or buy an investment property, you'll be like, oh, is that guy? He knows what he's talking about, and schedule a call. That's which is right here, right? www.chadson.com. Right, so back to what I was saying. The other set of anecdotal evidence that I'm seeing right now and kind of want to explain to you is that our team has had a lot of inquiries for like first-time investors and home buyers ever since September, which is normal, but again, much bigger than normal, much bigger, right? So even though a lot of people who we spoke to, I think early in the year before summer, when the spring market was kind of crazy and everything, there was a lot of real estate talk, those people are coming back out of the woods again saying, hey, I'm ready for the investment property now. So I'm seeing a lot of this, and when I mix that with kind of like anecdotal evidence, I'm seeing where a lot of bully offers being accepted on these like picturesque homes or like perfect investment properties. We're seeing like 5+ offers again. That is adding to the fire. While I don't like using metrics of like percentage sold of asking because I think it's silly, but having multiple bullies accepted tells me the level of aggression buyers have right now to get the deal done, whether it's because they're fear of missing out or like they're just lost from another deal, right? And ultimately that stems from not enough stuff to buy, right? Now I'll have September's numbers next week for you, but I won't be surprised to see prices go up, obviously because that's the norm, but I think it's gonna be a big headline because it's gonna break the consecutive sales and prices declining the last few months because the spring was really early this year, which again, it's back to seasonality. So what I'm wondering is how much of an increase are we gonna see? See, that's kind of the anecdotal evidence. Now, here's some raw data over here, courtesy of Ben. Here's the backdrop to understanding this data. Now, I've always known personally that we weren't building enough homes in Ontario for the amount of immigration and the new family formations that's happening, and it's always been backlog. So this chart here puts into perspective for you how much inventory we would get if all the inventory right now that is being built becomes available tomorrow, right? Which means, poof, all the houses are ready tomorrow. Because you have to remember, building homes takes a lot of time with all the government red tapes. And while we are building at a record high right now, if you look at these charts and you put into perspective, we're actually still under building. So it depends on which side of the story you're looking at. Now, if you have a look right now, there are about 100,000 homes under construction in Canada, right? You can see the active listings have plummeted since 2019, which I was saying before, even before the pandemic, in like December, we were having really low, but the pandemic has magnified it even more. So now we take that 100,000 homes and make it online available tomorrow, in our make-believe story world now, much to prove a point, we're just gonna hit the average number of active listings in the last 10 years. Average. All that stuff online tomorrow. This is about how crazy the lack of supply is. A record amount of homes under construction instantly being online tomorrow puts us to average. We clearly don't have enough homes for sale for the demand we have, right? then you also have to think about the type of homes being built. Now, I don't have the data for this, but I very, very much bet you that it's skewed towards a lot of condos instead of family-sized homes, which are like detaches or townhomes, any kind of like 3-bedroom properties. So if you think about the supply for that stuff, it's probably crazy low. Then when you look at the months of inventory on the chart to the right of that, if we inject 100,000 homes into the market, we're only increasing the months of inventory to 4. You hear me preach about this very, very often. Months of inventory is low, prices go up. Prices ain't coming down, the months of inventory low. 4 is technically, by the textbook, just right about balanced market. But in Toronto, prices ain't moving. Because if you look at the chart here, you'll see that in the red circle, in order for prices to decline in the last decade or so in data, you need to see months of inventory over 5. I've talked about this before, and because we've never seen prices decline with 4 months of inventory. And when I talk about it before, I'm showing that you need the inventory to be high enough so that people have choices before prices come down. Even at 100,000 homes injected into the market, 4 months of inventory, that's not enough. Now you gotta remember, these are nationwide numbers, Canada-wide. So if you look at the Ontario-based numbers, the amount of inventory that's lacking is probably worse compared to Canada because Ontario drags down, Vancouver drags it down, but Calgary pulls it up. Now here's another set of data on the average price per foot in the specific downtown Toronto condo space. You can see it's increased 10% year over year. Now I'm very much seeing the exact same thing, like good condos, new condos are trading like at $1,400 a foot plus. And I can think it will continue to see that trend because people who are priced out of homes want to go into a condo that's at least good enough that can last them for a long time. Because if they've been priced out of the detached market, they need to go somewhere else. This is why there's always that fluctuation between like prices going up in condos and prices going down in detaches. Now, the one thing I will say as a caveat to the condos is the condo is seeing a fluctuation in inventory. We had a lot of inventory, whereas it's the freehold homes that have very little inventory right now. So those are the things you have to kind of look at because, again, depending on which set of data you look at, you're going to have a different outcome. But overall, the supply is very, very, very low. So because of all of these things I've just shown you, right, this is why I'm so bullish in the real estate market in terms of where the prices are going to go. When I see supply and demand data like I just showed you, obviously it's going to go up, but it doesn't make sense. When I see the sentiment changing when talking to a lot of clients and potential buyers for real estate, I think they're going to go and get in the market. I also see this whole transitory inflation not being transitory, talked about it. I also know the government in power is going to continue shelling out money. I know that when the pandemic's over, the immigration is going to ramp up again. And I just can't see prices coming down unless we have some kind of other like black swan event like the pandemic again, right? So again, do with this what you want with the information I provided you. I'm only putting it out there for your own benefit. You could disagree or agree with me. I'm not trying to shell anything or sell you anything, right? However, if you are looking for your first property or your first investment property and you kind of want to know what the heck is going on and specifically your situation, whether you should get into the market, you could book a call with me. No strings attached. It's on the screen right here. You can use that link. It's www.chazan.com. And the whole purpose of this is to kind of really understand what each person's looking for and what they're trying to do. Because real estate is a good solution for a lot of these things, right? Like to buy a home, but it's not for everyone. And you have to figure out what is it for you because what's right for you isn't right for your neighbor or your friend or your family, right? And you just probably want a good, honest opinion from somebody in the field to actually give you the straight answer instead of, circle around it, right? So hopefully that helps. Until next time, your move, your future. See ya. Now that you're done watching this one, how about this one? Oh, you know what? This one's good too. Ooh, this one's really good. You know what? Just watch them both.